Shabbat Shalom. Call hello Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua B'Hashem Rekal Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us His truth. And Shabbat Shalom to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect, Tabernacle of David. I'm the brother Yashawan back with the World War III Daily Update for Monday through Friday. All right. And I have to say, underwater volcano my ass. All right. Let's start there. This is going to be much like the video I just made. You can go watch it. It's in more detail, but I'm going to try to keep this short. So we'll start at Matthew 24. And this is this guy who you call Jesus. His name is Yahushua. If his name was translated into the English correctly, it would be Joshua, not this thing right here. All right, so anyway. And as he, who's Yahushua, as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us what? When shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming? And of what? The end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. Okay? And what did Yahushua say? Yahushua said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. So when the devil himself comes on the television and the first thing out of his mouth is a lie, he says it was an underwater volcano. That's a damn lie. Jump to 6 right here. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. All right? Well, let's look into that. First, let's go right here. Let's hear them wars. Let's look at them. This is Revelation 11 and 14. Let's go to 9 real quick. Let's get all the wars. All the world wars, all right? From 1 to 11 is describing World War I. 12 says, one woe, meaning the First World War, is past. And behold, there come 2 woes more hereafter. This is the Bible letting you know of the 3 world wars. All right. Revelation 10. Why is it? Okay, here we go. 11. 11 and 14. The second woe is past. And behold, the third woe, the Third World War, cometh quickly. All right, so now that we've established that, remember who was mad? France was angry. This is 4 months ago. France angry after U.S. strikes deal with Australia for nuclear subs. All right? Now, who's worried about that? Who's worried about Australia getting nuclear subs? U.S., UK announced Australia to get nuclear power sub technology as China looms large. Okay? China's like this. Oh, like that? Okay? Shall we watch this? Let's watch this. Commercial first, of course. See what China has to say about these subs.
Our world is becoming more complex, especially
now, this
here
is
in
4
our
months
region,
ago.
the Indo-Pacific. This affects us all. The future of the Indo-Pacific will impact all our futures. To meet these challenges, to help deliver the security and stability our region needs, we must now take our partnership to a new level. A partnership that seeks to engage, not to exclude,
Look at this
to contribute, not take,
Look at that guy.
and to enable and empower, not to control or coerce. And so, friends, AUKUS is born, a new enhanced trilateral security partnership between Australia, the United Kingdom, and the United States.
Now, recently, France just said, hey, we're trying to get with Russia. Russia is with China. France is mad about this deal.
AUKUS, a partnership where our technology, our scientists, our industry, our defence forces are all working together to deliver a safer and more secure region that ultimately benefits all.
The region. Guess what? Tonga is right over there in that area.
The first major initiative of AUKUS will be to deliver a nuclear-powered submarine fleet for Australia.
Boom. That's all we need. 4 months ago. All right. Fast forward to today. Let's see. Let's go where? All right. This is yesterday. The countdown back up. Henning Kimner. January 16th. Tonga nuclear attack is evident beyond a reasonable doubt. Okay. Now, was it a underwater volcano? Let's look at some of this footage, and I'm gonna get right to it. All right. I spent too much time in the last video. Let's see what this
and
is.
it's visible. I just wish that
Hold on, let me bring it back right here. Look at this. This is clearly
prior
a submarine.
to approach to Tonga Island right here, it has already fired a missile. It's
Okay, wait, he's getting into speculation right there. Let's go. Let's go here. Okay. Let's take him here. Let's see. Well, let's get a little perspective here because this lady says, she says, Barbara Wilson says, yep, it's a bomb, all right. I thought so yesterday after observing the images of it on your whatever video, but I didn't comment because my thought was just a suspicious hunch. And when I saw your reply to a viewer who had the same thought and that you'd take a closer look, I knew you would do a follow-up video after closer examination, methodically confirm or disqualify our respective positions. China did it. Henning, Xi Jinping, it was a test warning. China's hypersonic nuclear and missile systems fly into orbit carrying hypersonic weapons that flies 5 times the speed of sound and reportedly consolidating its nuclear triad of bombers, submarines, ICBMs, and exploring new exotic nuclear systems. Henning, look up Tonga's unpaid debt to China and the South Pacific Islands in general, including Australia and New Zealand, i.e., Tonga owes China, Tonga owns China nearly 2/3 of its GDP. Anyway, great reporting and video presentation. Okay, this was, I believe, after the first bomb, or this was before this video. All right. All right. So after that, let's get to what he brought out after that first video, because he's got some good videos to look at. Let's take a look at what he's bringing out right here. Let me zoom in because it requires that. Now, you tell me that we're not at World War III already.
see if I can comment on it. Meanwhile, I think the first clip is in normal speed. You see that right there?
That's a
You
sub.
see that? It disappears and then the boom comes. Now it's slowed down. I think it's 75%, but you can see it right there. It disappears. That's a submarine.
You'll get it closer.
Can't be a ship. It's a sub. Look at it. And then boom. Now here, look closer. If you follow over here, something is going on here on the flank.
Now you're going to see something come out of the sky, right? It's going to come down. It's going to be streaking down. And then right where it lands is exactly where the explosion starts. Okay? This is not an underwater volcano. This is some action going on in the sea, letting you know this is military action and bombs coming down, fire coming from heaven. right?
This is the trail that is not moving with the clouds. All the clouds are moving from left to right. This one is not. This one is moving, you would say, southwest.
That's in the ocean. Okay. Or it could be, exhaust, but looks like it's a trail in the ocean.
So look closely. Now it disappears under the water there, and then boom. Correct? Spot on. That's evident right there. Look at it. But I want you to pay attention to something else that is happening here.
Watch. I'm gonna show you before
And
you.
look at it. But I want you to pay attention to something else that is happening here. I think we got one more clip of it. There. If you look over here, this is here where the detonation takes place. This is where there is a vessel of sorts. I believe it's a vessel. I believe it's a sub. But over here, I want you to pay attention. There's something flying, coming in. Look, over there. You see that? Right there? Coming through. Boom, right there. No question. Something is flying in the air, following into exact epicenter. Look, that is follow through the cloud there. Boom. Exact same spot. It ends there where the detonation takes place. So let me stop it for a second.
And you might say, "Oh well, they can make that up with CGI and da." What makes more sense? The first thing you hear is an underwater volcano. Then you see this. What are they trying to explain away? Why would CNN and all of these major news outlets, come on barking about underwater volcano, underwater volcano? They're putting that the first thing in your mind. Why are they doing that? Okay. If the USA blasted a Russian nuclear sub or a Chinese nuclear sub, they would be jumping up and down and letting you know, other than the fact that they're exposing that the war has already started. All right. That had to be some of that. Two explosions happened within 2 days. That's got to be some of that us by the process of elimination. All right. And this is just a hypothesis. That should be some of Australia's new nuclear submarines, wouldn't you say?
I cannot tell you whether this is a hypersonic missile or it's a cruise missile. I cannot tell you what it is, but I can assure you something is flying alongside. Maybe this.
I can assure you that it's not an underwater volcano.
What is going on here? It could be. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe this is a submarine, and prior to approach to Tonga Island right here, it has already fired a missile. It's followed along to ensure that the missile is doing what is expected it to do. And it can see that it is dead on, it is locked on target, and then it dives in, and the missile is doing its job. I can't tell you that, but that would make sense that they would follow suit with it as long as it is safe to do so. And they dive into the waters just prior to the detonation. This is evident. This is evidence right here. This is actually holding up in court. Something is going on here and it's visible.
The smoking gun, if you will. Okay, so if you want to watch this, let's read this real quick. CO SIFA says, as soon as I heard communications went completely down in Tonga the day it happened, I immediately grew suspicious. I'm glad you're speaking truth. People need to see what they're planning, and the coming years won't be pretty with how much power and control they displayed right in the faces of the world. Oh no, it's an underwater volcano. Okay. Let's see, this is 10 hours. Okay. You have to consider if it was an underwater volcano, right? Could be two bombs were used going off a millisecond apart to create a more realistic eruption. Huh. Um, a volcanic eruption underwater. Okay. Could it create an explosion? Can it create an instant explosion like that with the weight of all of that water on top of it? An underwater volcano, the volcano itself is at the floor of wherever it's at, the ocean, okay? It's not near the surface. So how many tons of water is sitting on top of that volcano that volcano would have to be spitting out for it to go that high in the air? Come on, use a little common sense, right? That's the first thing you got to do. And then when you see something like this, all right, then you got to go back here. You got to go back to Matthew, and you got to say this. Take heed that no man deceive you. All right, so with that, let's take a look at some news updates from the war front, and we'll go ahead and close out. I just thought that was, important. I just made a whole video about it, but that's pretty spectacular news. So let's look at Military and Foreign Affairs Network. What do we got? Battlefield Ethiopia. Russia deployed, this was 1 day ago. Russia deploys additional forces from Far East. All right, so you can't say that this war is not going on. All right, not much there. Check carrier pigeon. 22 hours, U.S. oil plant exploded. That's probably got to be in Syria. Not much there. Certainly not about the volcano going on. Where's that at? Carrier pigeon. Oh, we just did that. What do we got here? Deep journal. What do we got? 55 minutes. Breaking. Russian submarine suddenly surfaced in Europe. See, do you see the activity going on here? This time Russia crossed red line. This is probably in Syria. This, 55 minutes ago, Russian submarine suddenly surfaced in U.S. waters. Okay? And didn't blow up because China is on Russia's side. All right, let's take a look at, wait. Let's see, that's Deep Journal. Let's see Secret Files real quick and we'll take a look at the Deep Journal. Secret Files 333, 2 days ago, this is old. Israeli jets bomb Gaza overnight. 70 Russian transport aircraft deployed troops to Kazakhstan. Okay, so, that's 9 days ago. This is old. But the point is that troops are being deployed, equipment is being deployed, if you will. Let's check this out.
When advertising on...
It's a lock here. Just update information, that's all.
Did
Dear listeners, welcome to the Deep Journal channel. By subscribing to our channel, you can be informed about detailed reports every time. Conflicts between the USA and Russia have started to show themselves in many different parts of the world by going beyond the border of Ukraine. After the mutual harassment in the Black Sea, the armies of the two countries are clashing in many different places from the Baltic Sea to the Indo-Pacific Ocean. The fact that Russia could not get what it wanted as a result of the talks in Geneva and that it did not respond positively to NATO's requests in any way exacerbated the already hot region. Later, NATO and the US, which sent a battalion of 40,000 soldiers and dozens of tanks to the region, made it clear that if Russia attacked Ukraine in any way, it would fight Russia. Currently, NATO and the US Army and Navy are in a combat position awaiting Russia's move.
As you can see, both sides of World War III are positioning their troops and their equipment all up, not just in the north, right? But all over the world. All right, that's what's going on here. And apparently, nukes are already being used. Hypersonic. That's what we're looking at.
Russian President Vladimir Putin, on the other hand, declared war in response to NATO's move and started a major operation against the United States.
That's significant. Okay? Declared war on the United States. Well, what did the scriptures say? The scriptures say that Russia takes down the United States. All right? So what we're watching is exactly what it says in the scriptures. And that can't be discounted.
Putin, who wanted to move the conflict from his own borders to other regions, suddenly appeared in many parts of the USA, including the Florida coast, with warplanes and warships. Today, the Russian warship suddenly showed itself off the coast of Hawaii. The sudden appearance of a warship belonging to the Russian Navy on the Hawaiian coast put the US Army on alert. Against Russia, which has occupied the US maritime borders to a certain extent, the US senior Navy official warned Russia openly and demanded that it abandon this move as soon as possible. It turned out that Russia's move was a much more important raid in the background. A Russian nuclear submarine with 160 nuclear warheads belonging to Russia was also spotted off the coast of the United States today. Equipped with Bory ballistic missiles, this submarine is considered one of the most powerful submarines of the Russian Navy. After the detection of the nuclear submarine and the Russian spy intelligence warship, a great panic prevailed in Washington, while the Pentagon immediately went on red alert. That's because the Russian Navy raid came at the same time that the US military is planning to conduct tests of new missile weapons this week. This is more than a coincidence. The fact that a similar conflict took place in May 2021 confirms Russia's intention that the US canceled missile tests at that time. That was the purpose of this nuclear submarine, which appeared out of nowhere while the Russian spy intelligence warship was distracting. To create a new atmosphere of panic in the USA and to prevent missile tests. Indeed, Putin's move was successful, and the panic in Washington was perceived as serious intimidation. Russia has openly given the message to the USA that if a war breaks out on my borders, I will carry this war to your borders. The last time the Russian Navy made such a raid on the US coast was in May 2021, and the event was described as a serious crisis. Previously, the Cuban crisis in 1962 brought the USA and Russia to the brink of a major nuclear war. And again, in the shadow of this week's heated clashes, the danger of Russia's massive deployment of missiles and air defense systems to Cuba and Venezuela is growing day by day.
Boom. Can you see what's happening? You need to wake the hell up because the war is on. All right? Talks broke down last week. And Vladimir said, well, fuck this. Let's do this. You're not going to punk me into no damn corner right now. We're going to show you what we got. And back to the scriptures, all right? Babylon the Great is fallen, all right? We're going to end on this. Now I've gone long, okay? Whew. Revelation 18:2, and he cried with a mighty voice, saying, Babylon the Great. Who is Babylon the Great? It's not ancient Babylon. It's talking about America. Is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and cage of every unclean and hateful bird. All right? What does it mean it is fallen? Is fallen. All right? Jump down to 8. Therefore shall all her plagues come in one day. What plagues? What are these plagues? Therefore shall her plagues, who's her plagues? Babylon the Great, America. Okay. How much hath she glorified herself, America, and lived deliciously? So much torment and sorrow give her, for she, Babylon the Great, America, saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. You're proud as hell. Pride cometh before what? Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly what? Burned with fire. For strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. Therefore shall her plagues do what? Utterly burn her with fire. How? What plagues? Zechariah 14:12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. This plague are these nuclear missiles that are on those submarines and coming down from space, and have ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missiles, that will deliver the payload. And Vladimir Putin is not playing anymore. All right? So with that, we hope that the elect were edified. We will see you tomorrow. Shabbat Shalom.